Okay, we're back. Just let me know if you can hear me okay, if the sound is alright, if you can see me okay, hear me okay. Hey Val, how you doing? Hey Jason, hey Lee, hey ViaXP, hey BL, hey Ayakame, how you all doing? That's echo. Echoey. Let me just try something else. How about now? Is that a bit better? Less echoey now, I hope. Sound and vision is good. Tuned it down a little bit. Hey KK, how you doing? Val says it's good. BL says it's all right. Okay. It might be echoey because there's no one else here. It's just me. Might not. I won't probably shout too loud, so it might be a bit better then. Hey Ahmed, how you doing? I've just realized I don't have my. Let me do that quick one. So before we get started again, oops, quick disclaimer is any information contained on this webinar should not be construed as advice and is presented as education material only. The contents of this webinar are not intended to be a recommendation to trade a financial product, and your objectives, financial situation, and needs has not been considered, and you should consider its appropriateness to your circumstances. All right, so now we've got that out of the way. Just remembered for that last moment, like, oh, I don't have my disclaimer up. Hey Kaz, how you doing? Okay, oh, that's interesting. Just saw that headline. Okay, no. Interesting. Okay, so we're here today. We're here today for the non-farm payrolls, the NFP at 8:30, right there. Okay, so it is expected. It was 187K, expected 171K. Um, this time, just at the start of the week, I was um, I was a little bit positive that I was quite keen that it was going to be a good number, but right now it could really be anything. Right now, I think it could really be anything. So, why do I think so? Is because, and sorry, I just realized I just jumped straight into the deep end. I hope you guys are okay. If you have any questions, put it into the chat. Let me know. And yeah, whoever's watching, please drop a message, say hi, let me know that you're here, let me know that you're watching. If you're new to the session, let me know where you're joining us from. And if you can help me out, please click that like. And if you haven't already, click that subscribe button. So why today I'm thinking that it's going to be a bit of it could be an anything number, because employment numbers has been quite good in the US recently, and the JOLTS openings number on Tuesday was actually quite good. Surprisingly, it was quite good. It was 8.83 million, revised up to 8.92. They were expecting 8.81, so they were expecting it to go from 8.83, a small drop to 8.81, tiny drop to 8.81. But it got revised up and it was released at 9.61. So it was a very good jobs openings number for last month. So I was thinking, hey, on Tuesday, I was thinking non-farm payrolls, we might see a good number. I think I was sharing with you guys as well. We might see a good number. We might see that dollar strengthen. And then what happened was on Wednesday, with the ADP non-farm employment change number 180, it was revised slightly upwards from 177. expected 154. So it was 177, expected a small drop, and it came out at 89K. It came out at 89. So this was a huge drop, a huge upset there on the ADP non-farm employment change number. This was on Wednesday. So you see that on Wednesday at 9, where was it? Right about there. Let's zoom in a little bit. That was that news, right? That drop on the dollar pushed it down. So we've had, on Tuesday, one good news from the JOLTS, and then we had on Wednesday one bad news from the ADP, and then on to Thursday we had unemployment claims which came out pretty much flat, right? 205 expected, 211 came out at 207, so pretty much flat. This was revised slightly upwards from 204, so no big surprise there. And then we are here today on Friday with the non-farm payrolls, 187, expected 171. It's quite similar to the ADP number where they were looking at it going, maybe dropping a little bit. The question now for you guys is, what do you think the number is going to be? Is it going to be better? Is it going to be bad like the ADP non-farm number? Is it going to be better like driven by the JOLTS numbers, or is it going to be relatively unchanged, a bit unlikely, unchanged like the unemployment claims from yesterday? Put it into the chat. Let me know. What do you think the number, don't tell me the number. I don't think we're at the point of guessing the number already. I think it's about trying to figure out what the expectation is. Is it going to be good or bad? I'm actually a little bit surprised to see Jason say better, to see BL say better, and Dominic say better as well. Ayakame says, but everyone's guessing better. Wow. I'm at with a plus 200. Right, so it seems like from the couple of you, what about everyone else? What about everyone else? It is always unpredictable, and that's what makes this, that's why I'm doing this stream as well, because if it's predictable, it's not going to move that much. If it's not going to move that much, there are no big opportunities. If there's no big opportunities, what's the point of doing a stream, right? So that's why I am looking for an upset, either to the downside or to the upside, which is going to give us hopefully some good trading opportunities, some good trading setups. So what about everyone else? What do you think the number is going to be? Not the number, what do you think it's going to be? Better or worse? Guess what? I want to see better numbers. Okay. Let me know. A lot of you here, a lot of you watching, not a lot of you telling me what you think. Put it into the chat, let me know. And as well, if you can help me, click that like and subscribe, that thumbs up button. So that's where we are on the non-farm payrolls number. Okay, I'll take some of these away. And the main thing is that, well, we didn't do our stream this afternoon because I wanted to, no point doing a 3 to 4 o'clock and after that jumping on at 7. I've said everything already. So, that's why I'm doing this at 7, just so that we can prepare for the news at 8:30. So this will be a bit of a longer session. Right? We'll go through 8:30 with the news release, and then we'll probably look at it through to 9. If it continues moving, maybe 9:30. We'll see how it goes. Okay, but also remember that if you are going to be jumping to any trades, the disclaimer applies. And if you guys can help me out massively, do make sure this session is powered by Equity, the global markets, the FX brokerage. So if you can help me out, do make sure that you sign up for an account and start trading with Equity. All right, I am trading with them. I do have my MT4 open on this side of my screen, but I'm doing an analysis here with you guys. So MT5 actually. So do make sure you guys try them out. Okay, so anyone else with a guess? We have BL, we have Jason, BL, Dominic, Ayakame all guessing better. Ahmed guessing 2 plus 200. Lee's a bit undecided. What about everyone else? What do you think it's going to be? Let me know. All right, I'm split between many different screens at the moment. Jordan, how are you doing, Jordan? Agree, it could go either way. I feel like it might push the dollar index down, so I'll say worse. Robbie, how are you doing? Okay, and I still can't read the Chinese name. I'm sorry. I need to figure that. I'm terrible with my Mandarin. Val says 175. Robbie says 320. Hey, Robbie, if it's, I would love it. I would love it if it's 320, just because we're possibly going to see a big spike up. But we'll see. We'll see what we think, how we go there. Okay. And you guys have been through my previous, I think it was the previous or the last one I did, the last non-farm that we did, where I will be looking at different scenarios. All right, I'm just getting you guys to put in your guess right now, but what we'll be planning is that we'll be looking at, hey, if it's a good news, right? If it's that 200, if it's that 320 that Ahmed and Robbie is talking about, which pairs are we going to be looking out for? And then if it's below that 171, if it's, I don't want to curse, but I just about almost said a bad word, but if it's a lot lower, like the ADP at that 80 something number, or that, even at 100 something number, which ones to look out for in terms of dollar weakness. Okay, so we'll do that planning. I'll do that planning together with you guys. Robbie has his list. Robbie knows the drill. If you want to type it up and share it in the chat as well, I'll be more than happy with that, Robbie. Looking forward to that. Okay. So the other thing to pay attention to as well for tonight is the Canadian dollar, right? The CAD, the loonie, because we do have employment numbers for the CAD as well. Was 39.9K, expected 22.1. Employment change on the CAD might be a little bit better, but unemployment rate looking to climb slightly from a 5.5 to a 5.6%. Typically, what I would normally suggest, this is, rewind 2 years ago. Before that, I would always say, once on these kind of Fridays, when we have the US employment numbers together with the Canadian employment numbers being released, I would stay away from the loonie, stay away from the US CAD. But in this case, I think that with the Canadian dollar, I was watching this, with the Canadian dollar quite close to that 1.37, we might have some opportunities there. Like Jordan was just saying, might be a straddle at this point. Okay, I wouldn't go for too many straddles, just because just want to make sure that you don't have too many straddles across different currency pairs. If it triggers, you might have more than one pair to monitor. You might not be able to manage it. So we'll look for buy or sell opportunities in good news or bad news scenarios, and then after that we'll look at some possible straddles if it does come up. Okay, all good. Put it into the chat, let me know if it's all good. All right, so now what I've done is, let me just think. Cool, John. Let me just think. Right, we're looking at US unemployment rate 3.8 to 3.7. So that's a small might be a small drop. It just jumped up. In September, it jumped from 3.5 to 3.8. I think that's why they're thinking that it might come back down a little bit. Non-farm 187, 177, 171. I'm actually thinking that it might be a little bit lower, but we'll plan for both scenarios. Average hourly earnings, September was 0.4, dropped to 0.2, now expected to go up to 0.3. It was probably around there. I don't think it's going to do too much at this point. I think the focus will still come back to the non-farm and the unemployment rate. Let's check out the CME percentages at this point. So it looks like this was about if I remember correctly, this was about 60 something percent likelihood that there we go. Right, it was 50 something, 60 something percent in September. Now it's in October, it's dropped back to 79, 78. Looks like it's right at that border. This is the plan, this is the probability that the Feds will increase rates in November. So we're looking at a 78.9% chance that they're going to keep rates on hold. So that's going to be a little bit interesting. Why I'm checking this, because it's decisions on rates is going to be highly dependent not just on the CPI data or the inflation data moving forward, but also on unemployment and employment numbers. So it looks like if we do see a bad number, this might change quite a bit. Okay. And then CAD is there. All right. Okay. So I'm just getting my head around the whole thing. Hey Pedro, how are you doing? Good morning. Good to see you. So the dollar is interesting, given that it's sitting right at that 106.36 level. We do have 61.8 right there, which you can see in the previous hour. This was at 6 o'clock. It came close, it tested, zoom in a little bit, right? It tested that level, and then after that went back up. So it's sitting right at 106 dot, just below 106.40. So obviously, what we're looking at now is that if it does break below 106.25, which is that 61.8 level, then we're going to see the dollar possibly come down towards 105.70. And that's going to be in a scenario where we see a weak NFP. All right, so we're going to see a weak NFP. And a weak NFP ideally would be about below 150. Okay, so I'm thinking that if we're looking at something below less than 150K, we're likely to see that dollar weakness come down. Bollinger is squeezing, so that's fine. All right, and then 50% has broken, so we take that one away. And then we could see it come up to test that 106.80 level, right? If we see in this scenario where it would be a stronger NFP. I would say that if it's above 190 or 200, all right, so if it's above 190K, we're going to see that dollar strength. Okay, so I'm looking at these two levels. Right now, I am thinking that it's a little bit more likely that we're going to see it, based on the way the price is moving, looks like it's going to push down. But I think someone in our group was just sharing earlier today that, hey, it's true that non-farm payrolls can blow a lot of technical analysis out the window, right? It can blow it all the way out the window just because, you know, a change in the data is going to swing prices in any particular direction. Okay, so we have that. And we have that. Okay, there we go. So we also see it in a bit of a downward channel to the downside. Does that make sense for all of you? Right, I'm feeling a little bit more relaxed right now. I mean, the last time we did this session, I think I started at 8 o'clock and then the numbers were released at 8:30. I was just rushing like mad. So this time I gave it a bit more time. We started at 7, so we do have a little bit more time for analysis. So let me know if this makes sense to you guys. Hope you all had your dinner. Those in the Singapore and the Asia region, I hope you had your dinner already. I wolfed down a burger just so that I could do this just before this. So I'm looking at this. Okay, so now with this idea, all right, then looking at the Kiwi dollar. Okay, so Kiwi dollar, we'll take all that away because it didn't happen. It's come right back up. It's holding below 61.8. That resistance is right there. Zoom in a little bit. I like that it's consolidating at this point. All right, and I would say that if we see that dollar strength scenario, I'll be looking for this to push back down. Actually, we have a bit of an upside. Okay, let me just scroll through everything and have a look. Kiwi dollar, we're looking at this sitting right here. A dollar weakness scenario, then you'd be looking at buying it up above 0.60. And then you can push it up. I don't really like that. I would say that maybe what we could be looking for here is that downside 5950, stop loss 25, or even if you have a stop loss up there, I will go for that. 60-70 pip to the downside. Okay, so I'm just planning on the bigger time frame right now, and then after that I will zoom down to the smaller time frame. Right, so I'm looking at this as a, you know, that's what I'm planning for on the Kiwi dollar, right? A rejection close to that resistance area, push down. Compared to the Aussie, right? Aussie found 38.2, 50 and 61.8 is up there. I would say that, right, if you look at that, then we might have a push to the upside on the Aussie. Right, it might have a push to the upside on the Aussie. So what I'm looking at here is possibly Kiwi dollar to sell down on dollar strength, Aussie dollar to buy up on dollar weakness scenario. Okay, it looks like it might come down a little bit I might hold there in the next hour and then push back up if we see that dollar weakness. Okay, so what I'm looking out for here would be something like this, 6380, take profit even if you went for that 40-50 pip. Stop loss would be just right below there, about 20 pips, 25 pips. Right, so I'm looking for that move there on the Aussie. So we get a broad view first. So, look at the yen. I would say that yen on dollar strength, I don't think I would sell it on dollar weakness right now, just because of how it's found a little bit of a support right there. And it's still along that 149 level. So you could be looking for the yen to the upside. $149.45, 50, 60 pip take profit, 20 pip, 25 pip stop loss. So I'm looking at that. Okay, so this one we're looking at, and look, I like how it's forming up. This is, we're looking at DXY strength. Okay, and then this one we're looking at DXY weakness. Again, this one we're looking at strength to push it back up. Pound, dollar, look at that. So it broke out of that channel. Sorry, the throat is terrible. It broke out that channel, rising towards that resistance level of 1.2270, which was the previous swing level there. Okay, and the way I look at the pound might be a little bit later, might not be something that you want to get in during the news event. Okay, why so? Is because it's right in the middle of that support and resistance level. Okay, so, and also you can see that it's broken that channel, so I'll take that away. It's forming a little bit to the upside right now. Okay, it's forming a little bit to the upside right now, but I would actually like to see the pound dollar do something like this. Right, so I would like to see maybe that dollar weakness come around, test this level before pushing back down on the pound dollar. But at this point, on the news release, I wouldn't get into the pound dollar. I just want to see it react to either that resistance or that support level first. Okay, so nothing on the pound at this point. The euro rose quite strongly, right now at that 61.8. So did not do that, so take that away. Okay, you can take that away as well, and it's right now right along that 61.8 fib retracement level. Okay, so at this point, pushing up, we're looking at this as a possible, I think Jordan was saying, as a possible, not quite a straddle, but a buy or sell opportunity. Okay, why I say it's not quite a straddle is because for a straddle, the way I look at a straddle, I want it to be moving in a horizontal fashion before I do want to get into a trade. And in this case, it's not moving horizontally, it's actually moving to the upside. It's been moving to the upside. So in this one, if you want to take on that risk, right? It's a little bit more risky for this one. 1.057370, right? Take profit about 40 pip. I've done the straddles when you have a buy and a sell order, right? I've done that before. Straddles when you have a buy and sell order. Hang on, what is that down there? Oh man. Okay. When you have something like that, right? Say it's moving right in the middle, it's sitting right there, then you have a buy and a sell. Okay, let me just do that one first. About 40 pips to the upside, 25 pip as a take. Let me just move some stuff out of the way. Okay. Or if you were to sell down about a 40, almost 40 pip, this would be about a 30 pip stop. So that's what I'll be looking out for on the euro dollar. I don't think it would be wise. So for a straddle, to answer Ayakame, for a straddle, what you would have is a buy order, a sell order. Once one gets triggered, you close out the other one that didn't get triggered. The issue with the euro dollar and why I don't think it would be a good straddle at this point, a good place for a straddle at this point, is because the orders are not very far away, right? It's currently at 105.50. We're looking at the order at about 105.70. No, 1.0570. That's only 20 pips away. This one is about 20 pips away as well. I'm just concerned that it might hit trigger, and bounce back up. Right? Trigger and then come back, it trigger. So it's a bit too near. You might trigger both directions. So that's something to worry about. I think that I'll go for the upside a bit more. Okay, this is on dollar weakness scenario. Okay, so this is how I look at it. I'm thinking that it could push up to that resistance at 1.0617, which was that previous swing level there, and that 50% retracement. I think that it might get to that point before coming back down again. Okay, but we'll see how that one goes. US Swiss franc. I'm all over the place with US Swiss franc. I might stop looking at it. It's just something that I don't look at on a day to day. That's why I don't get a good feel of it. Dollar weakness is going to push this down. It's broken that trend line. Double top is done. I would like to see, if we do see that dollar weakness, then, because it's a big retrace at this point, if it breaks below that 50, nothing to rush in on the US Swiss franc. We're looking at something like that. So it does need, it's at 0.9117 right now. I would look for it to break down that support, that 50% level for that big swing to the downside. This is on dollar weakness as well. That's what I'll look for. And then onto the US CAD. Again, I think I was saying this would be I don't like that it's got a limited upside. Dollar strength scenario is very close. It's very close. 1.3740, 60 pip, 60 to 60 is a 1:1 to the upside. Okay, what I've just done right now is just gone through the majors. I've looked at the general directions in terms of where trend is, where that support and that resistance level is. And then I'm just planning out in terms of where I think, on a good news, bad news scenario, what do I want to be, which ones do I want to be looking for? All right, so now as a summary, what I have is Kiwi dollar on the dollar strength scenario. All right, and so we'll put it there. So stronger DXY and weaker DXY. So this one we're looking to sell as Kiwi dollar. Then on the Aussie, we're looking for this possibly to, if it breaks its support, then I'll sell it down. But it could just hold and bounce back up. Okay, so Aussie, I'm looking to buy on USD. As much as I'm looking at it right now, as much as I got all you wonderful people joining me on this session, I'm not going to rule out the scenario where it goes completely against us, and then we're down to some short-term scalping because prices are just moving a little bit oddly from what I'm seeing. I think most likely I would have something to do on the yen. So, the one thing why a lot of people don't like the news or don't trade the news well is because they feel like they have to enter a trade, right? They sit there and they go like, I have to enter a trade. I'm quite happy to be sitting here rambling on, going through the scenarios. 8:30 comes around and then I look at it and I go, well, it's not moving to what I think it should be doing or what I thought it should be doing, and then I would just not enter a trade. Okay, so you need to get to that point where you feel confident or comfortable enough to do the analysis. If it doesn't play out, don't enter a trade. Pound dollar is, we said we'll do this later because it's right in the middle. But let's look at that. 61 fits quite nicely. 23.6 is right there. If we do see a stronger dollar, we have a 55 pip move to the downside. We could have a 25, 30 pip move stop loss there. That could work. That's right in the middle, but that could work. So that's pound dollar. On dollar strength, we're looking to sell the pound dollar. Sure, I'll get to that, Pedro. Give me a second. Euro looking like a push up, so we'll look at the weaker dollar index. We could look to buy the euro dollar. Swiss franc on weaker dollar. We look to sell the USD CHF, and then on the stronger dollar, we look to, I don't really like this. Just not a lot of upside. A 60 pip upside, but the stop loss is quite wide as well. Like Siri just said, CAD looks like it's ranging in H1 unless it breaks 1.3690. Got it right. That's right there. So it is ranging, right? Since Tuesday when it got into the range, it's been in that range. Look, and the thing is, we're back towards March, the high from March. Okay, so maybe you got to remember the CAD has the employment change numbers. So if we see a stronger dollar here, this is going to be maybe a little, might be a stronger CAD. We might see a stronger Canadian dollar. We might see a stronger Canadian dollar then with that. So stronger Canadian dollar will push to the downside. Dollar strength. All right, here we do. This is what we do on the US CAD is that we'll look for on the dollar weakness scenario plus a CAD strength scenario. Then we'll look for this to come back down. Okay, so we're looking for a combination, right? A combination of this move. That's where you'll be looking for that to push down. You know, about a 30 pip stop, get a good 60 pip take, and then if that combination works, we're possibly going to see it come back down into this range. Right? So that's what I'll do on the CAD is on a weaker dollar, we look to sell the USD CAD. Okay, so we're looking at that scenarios for the non-farm employment change numbers. If pound dollar, if US strengthen would be better to sell, otherwise it look like counter trend to buy. Yeah. The only reason why I'm hesitant on the pound dollar is that swing levels, right? And also, let's test this. That's a big one, but that's 38.2 right there. So what 38.2 right there, quite close at 1.23. Not the most perfect fib level, but I find that there's limited upside there on the pound dollar. Okay. Then on to Pedro's question. Do you believe that in a scenario of dollar weakness, we could see a resumption of the upward move on indices? Most likely, mainly on NASDAQ because it's a tech reference. Well, let's look at all of them. Let's look at all of it at this point. Found a good, not resistance, a good support level there. Dollar weakness will bring this back up. Generally, what you would always see is an inverse relationship between the dollar index and the indices. So I wouldn't rule a dollar weakness to push it back up, but it doesn't. Looking at the way price is moving, I'm actually looking at. So why I'm a bit undecided at this point is because I'm looking at the dollar and look, it's coming back down. I'm expecting this to drop, but I'm looking at the indices and I'm thinking that it doesn't look like it's going to bounce back up. Apart from S&P 500, everything else looks like it's going to continue tracking lower. US 30 could do that. Yeah. Yes. So, Pedro, I would say that it's quite a good relationship between the index and the dollar. Um, should see it bounce back up, especially on the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. I think that we should see. Yeah, I'm kind of guessing. I'm kind of guessing that we're going to see a dollar weakness come around. Okay. The rule of waiting for candle to close before entering a trade. How can we best trade the news with this rule? We'll go down to the smaller time frame, Jordan. So, when it comes closer to the news release, I will be looking at it. Now we're looking at H1 time frame. Then I'll look at it on the M15, and then if the conditions are right, I will also be looking at it on the M5 and M1 time frame. So we wouldn't wait for that to. We don't have to wait for the candle to close, because if the candle closes, it'll be, most of the time be after the fact already. Okay, you're welcome there, Pedro. Kind of like how EJ is moving up right now from a support. If euro strengthen, later hope this upwards may continue. Euro yen. It's pushing up strongly, right? It's pushing up very well, right? Because of the euro dollar. Look at that; it's already happening, pushing up. Yen is also pushing up a little bit, so I think that your support of 155.49. Yep, way down there. Yes. This will continue upwards. Do remember that there is a big resistance here on the euro yen at that 158.48 level. So it's a good 100 pips away if it gets there. Right, this was the previous swing level. Give me a second. Okay, I was sniffing away too much. So that's the support level. We could see that push up. I feel that this might go up. The euro yen might go up, not so much because of the euro dollar. Well, euro dollar is pushing up, but maybe also with the US yen pushing up. But that one, it's really moving before the news. What's happening? Okay. Any other pairs that you guys are looking at? Do let me know. That's a good one. That's a good one to look at. And then Jordan's question is: so still wait for candle to close on a smaller time frame? Yes. So what happens on the smaller time frame is I do tend to look for, on a news release. I think I said this the last time around. On the news release, if that dollar strength scenario comes around, then look for that big drop. Right, you most likely miss that first big drop as it retraces, bounces back down. Then there is a scenario to get in either at that point or below that previous swing level at that point. So I would always wait for the candle to close, right, before I do get into any of those trades. And then on the flip side is if it shoots up, then we look for that to happen. Then we either get in at that point to be aggressive, that's an aggressive move, and then at that point as a slightly safer move, no safe trades, but slightly safer. And then the thing that I would always consider with the short term is always my Bollinger Band, right? I'm always looking at, like, for example, on the M1 time frame, I'll be looking at the Bollinger Band just to make sure that it's not outside of Bollinger Band. It's because if it's way outside, it's going to retrace back in again. I'm a little bit surprised, heading into the end of the hour, that we're seeing markets move quite a bit before the news. Let me know, what do you all think? Front running the news. So when the price moves before the news, is it likely to continue that move? Is it a leak data and it's going to continue the move, or is it a fake move where it goes up and next moment it comes back down? What do you all think? Copy that, red leader. So let me know, what do you all think? The not first move, the early move, the pre-news move. Do you think it's more likely to continue that move, or do you think it's more likely to retrace that move? Okay, Robbie says, when do you get back to full lot? When do you get back to full lot sizing at 9 p.m. or 10 p.m., or is it still news trading half lot size at 11 p.m.? To Robbie, I'll tell you what I'll do. Okay, right after this non-farm, all right, I'm on half lots now. I already tuned it down to half my lot sizing. Right, right after this non-farm, if we get into any trades, great. If we don't get into any trades, that's fine as well. But the moment I end the stream, whenever it is, that's it. That's it for me for the week. That's it for me for the week. I'm not going to push that last couple of hours to try and squeeze out any trades. I don't think it's going to be worth that effort. And also because, and this week is just a little bit more, no, this week is not, it's not because it's a little bit more special, but I would say that this week, because of what happened here on Tuesday, on the US yen, right, I did catch quite a big trade to the downside. I caught quite a big trade on the downside for the US yen here. Let me show you. I can't, I'll check it later, but I can't remember. Quite a big trade on the US yen here to the downside. Probably something like that, 100 something pips to the downside. All right. So yeah, if I can't squeeze out anything, or anything happens, I'm quite happy to end the week on a high, on the previous high. Okay. Yen looks like it's retracing, looks like it's holding there. CAD yen, my resistance is at 109.22, price is at 108.70, looks like it's reversing from the downward now. CAD yen. CAD yen reversing might not be, it's a trending scenario, so it's likely to retrade, to come back down. But what I would, because of what we're expecting on the US CAD, on the loonie, right, expecting for it to drop, to the downside, then that means CAD strength, right? Dollar weakness or CAD strength. Then I would need this to push up rather than to turn back down. So something to watch out. I'm not going to, this is not something that I look at. So I would actually be more tempted to take that, because that's 38.2. So if it breaks above 109, then we could see more upside if we do see that CAD strength come back into play. Hey Rita, how are you doing? Okay. It's nice catching the yen trade. I had a rough week last week. Shall see how the market move later this time. Yeah. Don't feel like, if it hasn't been, don't feel like you have to rush force a trade. That's what I would look at on the CAD yen. All right, go take a quick water break, everyone. Remember to hydrate. Get a water break. We're at 30 minutes, just about 30 minutes to the news. And again, if you can help me out, do jump on to the sign up with equity. Just keeps our live trading streams going. I know a number of you have signed up. So do sign up, get a live account going, and we can take it from there as well. All right. Dinner time. I had my dinner. How's everyone else doing? I've seen a couple of you chatting. What about everyone else? BL, I would be, if you told me that you are trading, that's what would surprise me. That's what would surprise me a little bit more. Okay. Any other questions? Anyone else? Corporate America is ignoring Jerome Powell and binging on debt. Just saw that headline. Watching you analyze the charts. Done analyzing. I'm just going to take a little bit of a breather right now because it is 30 minutes to the news. Good catch. Very good catch. Anything else coming out here? US jobs data. Hey, they said that 13 minutes ago. I said it earlier, 30 minutes ago, right? Jobs data could be the Fed's cue to hike or to hold. And that's why we were looking at that. Percentages. All right. If the employment numbers are not great, then we might actually see the Fed's hold on the action. All right. Report release. Do they say anything important there? Surprise. Cooling. More evidence of cooling labor market conditions than we expect. Okay, nothing much. Val cooked big portions yesterday, saw her. Val, what about the pizzas, Val? It's Friday, it's pizza day. Strong economy and cooling job data is good. Yeah, it is. Not cooling too much though. Yep. So a lot of times you guys, I don't know whether you guys wonder this, but whether you think about it, but there's always been some misconception about trading. It's all action and it's all bam, 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 enter trades, make money, enter trades, make money. A lot of times it's not like that. It's I think many of you have had that opportunity to sit and trade together with me in person. This is what I do. Before the news, I've done all my planning. I've got my scenarios. I've got my levels all planned out. I would sit here. I would look at the news, just get some idea. It's not hammering out 50 trades and um, posting about trade results and stuff. All right, so we're still waiting for the news release. I need to figure out how to put some background music to the stream. We'll figure that one out later. I don't want to get flagged by YouTube for copywriting on music. This time it's my turn to cook, so it's Indian. Fantastic. What about scalping? Scalping happens when the news happens. Scalping doesn't happen now. Scalping does not happen now. Scalping happens when the news happens. Yeah, I gotta get those royalty-free music. Royalty-free music so that I can put some background. If not, I feel a bit conscious that I have to, keep the airwaves open. Keep rambling on and on with you guys. Nothing much. Euro dollar pushed up. Now thought about it again. Okay, we shall see how that goes. Remember, guys, before the news, tend to size down for that. I feel that this might not be the best scenario for us on the euro dollar just because it's so close. The news comes out, it pops right up. Then there's not a lot of move. What I would be looking out for in this case is if in a scenario like that, right, whether it's going to pop up and break to the upside further, or push it a little bit higher. So about a 40 pip move to the upside. Sitting right at that 61.8 level. Right on that level before the news. And it's going to sit there. It's going to sit there all the way until the news release. Then we'll see a spike or a dip. Right? And it might actually, yeah. I don't want to use technical. I don't like using technical analysis to try and predict fundamental release. It just doesn't seem right. Right? There's no right or wrong way to trade. Whatever makes you money, but I just don't feel that a technical level would be able to predict employment data in this case. Right? A technical level might be able to, I like to see this do that. A technical level might be able to predict the sentiment of the markets, but not so much the data itself. I want to see this on the pound dollar. All right, if we see that on the pound dollar, then I'll be looking for that move. I'll be looking for that move down. Right, so the dollar index is sitting right there. It's gaining a little bit of strength right now, bouncing along that 61.8 and that midline of that channel. Hey, we have a number of you watching, but not enough of you clicking that thumbs up button. And also, if you can, put it into the chat. Let me know if you have any other questions. Okay, just make sure you put it in. I just want to see who. I just recognize the names, so put it in and let me know if you're here. And if you haven't already, do subscribe. Did I miss gold? Yeah, I missed gold. I didn't do gold. I wouldn't trade on. I just got too many other things to look at as well right now. But looking at gold, it's still sitting right there. It's still sitting right in the middle between those two levels. So I wouldn't be too focused on gold. Dollar weakness scenario should see this push to the upside, but it looks like it's trapped in that bottom. I think the last time we were on Thursday when we were talking about this, I was expecting it to come down, grab some liquidity, and push back up. So I was looking for that move, right? Especially if that consolidation there. But it doesn't look like it's happening anytime soon. That's a very tight, or not very tight, but a oddly horizontal move on gold at this point. So I don't usually, unless I've got nothing else to do, no other pairs to trade, then I'll go into gold and I'll start scalping. I'm only a scalper on gold, so I wouldn't be looking at it right now. And Lee's right. Even fundamental sometimes does not match with what's happening on price action. So what should you do if fundamentally you're looking at it, and let's say, for example, we see good data, strong data on the non-farm employment change. We see it come out at 200, right? We see this come out at 200. We see that drop to 3.7. It's all good data. And on the dollar index, we see the dollar index drop. What would you do? What should you do? Would you, should you, what would you do? What would you, should you do? Let me know. Again, I repeat that if we see a strong employment data, strong a drop in unemployment rates, and then you see the dollar index drop. You're expecting it to push up, but it drops. What should you do? Anyone? Now let's see this as well. I haven't checked this. That's right. Ding ding ding. Soon wins. Stay away. Wait and see if there's retreat. Yes. So you stay away. Wait to see if it's going to bounce back up to where you think it's going to move or it should move. Oops, what was that? No, take that away. Not take a chance as it doesn't match. That's what I would do. That's right. Okay. So a lot of times that's, if it goes down and you're expecting it to go up, a lot of people would be going, oh, great, it's going down, time to start buying, and you're buy, and it just keeps dropping. I would say look for it to drop, let it drop all the way, wherever it goes, and it starts bouncing back, and then I'll start looking for that buying opportunity because that would fit my fundamental analysis thinking that it should go up, then the price showing me that it is going up with that alignment, then I'll start buying it to the upside. Okay, so good job, Surin, good job, BL and Val. I was going to look at Bitcoin. I was looking at that pushing back up a little bit. So that big drop on Thursday night, everyone's like, "Oh, what happened? What happened to Bitcoin? Why did it drop from 28,000 down to 27,400, and then today it's back up halfway again?" You're like, "Oh, it's okay." So that was the thing I was watching, and that's just sitting right there at 1,006. Looks like it might be pushing back down some more. Okay. Ayakame said stay off. Correct. Good job. See, the reason why I don't Aussie dollar, if it breaks down support, we could trade it down, but there's just too many levels in the middle. I like this. I like the US yen to the upside. I would be very keen on this. Um, there are days and times when I will feel when I've made money during the week. For example, this week, where I would feel tempted to get into a trade before the news, right? So I would size down. So think about this. This week, I think I'm a couple of hundred pips, no, about 100 and something pips up, right? Think about this. If you size it down before the news, enter a trade onto, I'm not going to tell you which pair, you know, reasonable stop loss, good take profit, and just let it run. You know that if it does come down and hit your stop loss, you've sized down, you have profit, pip profit, and dollar profit that you're able to risk. You know, even if it does hit, you're not going to be negative. You're not going to be losing a big chunk of your profit. It makes sense, right? And so it's worth the risk, and then it goes right up to your take profit or shoots up. You can close out the trade. You've just I wouldn't say magnified, but you've just increased on your winning week. So that sometimes when I do have a series of good winning weeks or a series of good winning days, I do take on a little bit more risk. I can get into a trade before the news. Okay, not saying that you guys should. It all depends on how you have been trading before, whether you're able to take that risk or not. Okay, so interesting thing here is not a perfect head and shoulder, right? Because of that two things there. But if you look at that and that as a neckline, that might get interesting. Okay, 15 minutes to the news. And also, while you guys have that little bit of time right now, I am not relaunching, I'm doing a new comprehensive trading course. A lot of you have gone for the initial course before, have attended the initial course, or have watched it on YouTube. This is even more in depth, more intensive, more interesting, better filmed, more updated course. I'm going to release it by the end of the month. So if you are going to be keen, do put your email and your name there, name and email there, and once it's ready, you get an email to tell you about it. Okay, so I'll put in the link to my website there for you guys. And also, just to let you know, guys know about some of the funny things that I've been up to for today. is that, not today, this whole time, is that I've also just launched a part where I'm doing brokerage reviews, right? So I'll be reviewing brokerages if it's something that you want to find out more about. You want to know about different brokerages, or tell me which brokerage you're using right now. Head to that video, leave a comment. Let me know. I could do a quick review for you guys. I've been busy, keeping busy. All right, so towards the news, let's close out some of these things. 8:30. We're at 8:17 right now. Go Val, watch the leave the comment in the video, in the other video. Don't have to do it now. Do it later. Okay. Oh, that's interesting, Lee. Not the usual names I hear, but interesting. It's so weird. Look at that. We're looking at Kiwi dollar sitting right there. We're looking at the Aussie dollar sitting right there. And yet the US yen is trying to push back down a little bit. Look at the pound dollar. And the dollar index is barely even on. Okay, it's moved quite a bit. That could actually be a sell down again. I like this one more. I want to see the dollar strength. I want to see that push up. I'll be so happy to buy the yen back up again. Hey Kavindu, how you doing? You know why I want to buy the yen back up is because I made money in a drop, so I want to go back up. So that gets to that 150 level again. Hopefully trigger some BOJ intervention again and then do another repeat. Right? Drop down from 150 again down to all the way down. I'll be ready to sell that down again. $161, no. Looks like we'll see. There we go, like that. Let's see what happens. Hey Christina, how you doing? You guys just tune in just for the release. Okay, who's going to be trading later? You have 10 minutes. Who is looking to enter trades, or who is just sitting there going to wait and watch? So should we be on 5 or 15 minutes at the moment? I would say that you'll be on the H1, but you can also be on a 15-minute. Okay, bear in mind that if you're not familiar, if you're not used to trading a news event, if you're not used to the 15-minute time frame, please take this maybe as a learning experience at the start. Don't feel like you have to rush into a trade. Okay, so Dominic's in, Cerin's in, JMB is gonna watch. Jason's watching more. Val's watching as well, with maybe entering a small position. I'm learning from you guys. I'm learning from all of you. Looking for opportunities throughout the day. Well, Pedro, that's just unfair. Your day just started. That's just unfair. I need 36 hours a day. Aussie dollar pushing back up. Okay, good one, Jordan. See, that's coming back down a little bit. So I'm on the M15 time frame right now. You can see on the watermark there, 15 minutes. Aussie dollar bouncing off that trend line. This might work out quite well. Jordan, whereabouts are you? Dollar week push up. Okay, that makes sense. That's all good. All right. We're heading into the hour. No, not the hour. A couple of minutes. Oh yeah, that's nice. Aussie living in Colombia. There we go. 6 minutes. 6.5 minutes to the news. I wonder to be an observer or participate. If you're wondering, be an observer. If you're wondering, be an observer. We'll trade if it goes to plan. Good one, Robbie. And I blush when you guys say coach and all that. I'm just sharing my views. I'm just on YouTube rambling. Got a number of new people who just joined us on the stream, so if you can, for good luck on our trades, do click that thumbs up button on YouTube. If you've clicked it before, don't click again, but if you haven't, click on it, you get good luck. It helps you win your trades better. I'm just messing. It's a bit odd to see things moving the way it is. The dollar is really bouncing along that line. 5 minutes to the news work. Let's see if it works. Yeah, you can only know if it works if you click that thumbs up button. Ayakami is trading on it. Okay. I want to see this move. All right, once the news starts, I'm going to I might be a little bit quiet, so just thinking of many different things. So just any questions, put it in the chat, let me know. 4 minutes. And also because I'll be a bit all over the place later because I got my trading platform, my MT5 here. I got a chat I'm watching with you guys. I got trading view here as well. So I'm running 3 things at one time and trying to trade. So just bear with me if I ramble on a little bit. Kiwi dollar might not look like it's going to move too much. Looks like the Aussie dollar, yen is a bit odd. Yen looks like it's pushing down. Pound dollar, euro dollar. Euro dollar coming down might be interesting. Jason cut a 1 pip loss on gold. Okay. Two minutes to the news. I know some of you are going to get the news earlier than me. I'm going to be annoyed as hell. But we'll survive. Sometimes the numbers arrive at different times to different people. What's your advice for that? I was just thinking whether I should make a bad joke. But I think the solution to that, remember the pattern, well, no, just leave it. Remember the pattern that we talk about where we look for it to drop and bounce and do that. That's really to factor in that lag in data release because you're always going to miss that first move, right? You're always going to miss that first move. Even if you're the first person to get the data, you will miss that first move because the computers are on it before you. You don't want to be selling right at that point. Okay, so the reason why this is so that we don't have to factor in that speed of data. Are you subscribed to the Bloomberg terminal? I'm not. It's I tried it out. I tried it out twice. I didn't see a huge benefit to it, and I think it's $2,000 a month. From memory, I think it's $2,000 a month, just for one terminal. So, just didn't think it'd be worth doing that. All right, here we go. News is out. We're seeing dollar strength right across the board. Hungry foodie numbers at 2005. Whoa, look at that. 336. What a surprise. Robbie, you got it right. Robbie. I want to see that. Oh, it's okay. That dropped a bit. Didn't Robbie say 300? Oh, that's not very good. That unemployment rate at 3.8 is not very good. All right, so we're seeing the dollar push up. So now look at that. As the dollar pushes up, you're looking at, this is way above 190. Hang on, let me see. Okay. You're looking to sell the Kiwi, buy the yen, sell the pound, dollar, euro dollar retraced. Kiwi. Okay, now this is on the M15 time frame, guys. Just remember that is way outside of Bollinger. I don't think it's going to retrace strongly, but we're going to be watching. I'm going down to the M5. Aussie's way out. Aussie, if it closes below that, I might be interested. That's pushing up. Good. I'll tell you guys, I actually did get onto the yen before the news, before the news just then. So remember I was telling you like, oh, I'm thinking about getting in before I got into the yen. Okay, and it actually, no, not yet. Okay, the yen is going up, that's fine. I want to see that continue. Hang on, something wrong with my chart. The view is so out of place. Okay, wait for that. M15, that's going to rebound. So this is what we're talking about, right, guys? Okay. What was I going to say? Okay. So this is what we're talking about. You know, that big spike down. This is on M1 time frame. Just want to show you the example where it spiked down, came back up, right? Pushed down, bounced back up a little bit. Now we can see it coming back down again. It came back right to the Bollinger, now pushing down. Why I don't think it's going to retrace too much. Right? Why I don't think it's going to retrace too much? Because this is a very big number. This is a very big number there. We're seeing dollar push up very strongly. And with the way it's pushing, I do think that we could see it claim that 107.20 level. Right? I'm actually looking at this possibly pushing back up there. Gold, Rita said. Okay, don't do anything on gold. Don't do anything. I would suggest, again, it's up to you, but I would suggest I will hold off on gold just because of the way it's moving, breaking that consolidation. You have a level here at 1800, nice round number. Only time I would think about getting in for gold to the downside would be if it breaks below the 1800 level. Before that, in this this whole area, it could come down, grab that liquidity and push back up. I'm only looking for it if it breaks below 1800 on gold. My yen is running very well, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to let that keep going. Okay, yen is still pushing up. Pound dollar is moving to test the previous day low. Okay, so we're a bit late on this. Ew, what happened to my thing? Okay. Somehow my M5 is okay. Now it's loading. 5 minutes. You got 1 minute to get this to push back up. CAD yen. CAD yen spiked up. Well done, Soon. Good job. I'm on that. I'm on that. And actually, okay. I've just got out of my yen. I just want to focus and talk to you guys about this. I think it's still going to go up. Well, I think it's going to go up so let's get some structure to this. Okay, so Kiwi dollar on the M15 push down strongly. Just remember that it's way outside of the Bollinger. On the M5, you can see that it's going to come back in. Okay, so I want to see this come back to this level, right? We can see this pushing back up, looking like it's going to come back in a little bit. So I want to see it come to about this level here, 5940. Ideally, it'll come back up before pushing back down again. Aussie dollar, same thing. Test that support turned resistance level now. 6335. Test that level and push back down. Okay, so I didn't, you don't have to, you might not have entered any trades in the first 5 minutes, but there are still opportunities coming around. US yen is sitting right there. So I did get into the yen before the news. This was what I did. Now, remember, I was telling you guys, I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking about it. I got in right there. No, where was it? Right there. 1-0. Just below. Where was it? About that point. Oh no, 0.5. Yeah. Then I had my 30 pip. And then my 30 pip there. So it went up. And then once it went up, I dragged it higher, but then I saw it outside Bollinger. So I closed out. So it's a good 30 something pip there on my yen. Right now, I'm looking for this to come back into Bollinger before possibly pushing back up again. Pound, dollar, push down. So take that away because that's out of the picture. Now retracing back down. I wouldn't do anything on pound unless it breaks below 61.8, which is that support level there. All right, give it some time, let it work. So we're looking at to sell our Kiwi dollar, we're looking to buy our US yen, which we did. We're looking to sell the pound dollar down. This is below support, right? Support level there. So what I'm looking for here on the pound dollar would be below 1.21. You get a chance to go a very tight stop, 20 pips. Take profit, could go to 40, 50, maybe even 60 pips to the downside. Okay, look at that. Kiwi came back up. Sorry, it came back right there, touched my level. I want to see how, it got 2 minutes more and see how this candle closes. All right, so it came right up. You can see it came right up, touched my level, and then now waiting to see what happens there. Aussie dollar, same thing, came up, test that resistance. 2 minutes, 1 minute for the candle to close right now. So this is why I rank and I've used this for years and years and years. The Bollinger Band really saves me on so many different occasions. I know Robbie's a big fan of the Bollinger Band as well. Pound dollar not ready yet. Needs to break that level. Euro dollar definitely not looking at that. It's a massive number, guys. Right? So as a massive number, all that spike, I'm thinking that it might retrace a little bit more, so just be a bit careful. This 5 minutes is not an entry time. This is not a time to sell into value. All right, you want to wait for it to turn up, reverse, and then you start selling. Okay. Oh, we thought about that. Strong Canadian numbers, very strong Canadian numbers. And what we're seeing here on the US CAD, on the loonie, this might still play out. This might still play out to our advantage or our setup. Right, so what we have here is very strong CAD strength, but we're not seeing that dollar weakness at this point. But what's a bit not concerning, but what's interesting is that given the fact that it's a 336 number, we're not seeing a super. I expected a lot of a bigger move. I expected a bigger move than what we've seen here. The biggest one we've seen was on the yen, which is only because I got in early, right? If you didn't, then that first move, you wouldn't have been able to catch much of that trade. Let's check out gold. Gold is just sitting right there. Gold is right there, not ready yet. Be careful of the retrace, guys. See, it's come back to Bollinger right now. Okay, so this again is the pattern that we were talking about. Spike down, bounce. I don't know how far I will bounce by before maybe coming back down again. You know, a lot of you might be tempted to say, okay, let's try the fib level. We got 61.8 there, and also we have 50% coming close. So you could sometimes look at fib levels, but not always. Aussie is already starting to reverse. 15-minute close will be interesting. I got too many lines now. Hang on, can't see my candle. That's right at that point. Aussie dollar right at that support level right now. Needs to break before we would consider selling it down. What I'm totally hands off. I'm neutral now. I'm totally flat now. I'm looking to see how much is it going to retrace by. See, I'm looking at this. This is the Aussie dollar. I'm looking at this move down, a bounce. Is it going to turn back down, or is it going to sit there, or is it going to push back up? Because this is what I'm looking for. Yep, I'm glad I got out of that. I think it looks like it's coming back down. I'm glad I got out of that. With 30. Pound dollar pushing back up. Well, this looks like one of the better ones right now. Look at that. Okay, dollar index outside of the Bollinger might be pushing a bit. Oops, what did I do? Right, so what else is happening? Dollar is still strengthening right now. You can see that's why the CAD is pushing back up. Kiwi dollar could look to get in. You could look to get in. As the dollar pushes up. That I like on the Aussie 5-minute that pin bar rejection, or bit of a pin bar rejection, a bit of a doji rejection. 15 minutes is still a bit outside. Look at that on a 1 minute. That could be a bit of an aggressive entry there to the downside. Kiwi dollar pushing lower. I like the Kiwi. Okay, so Kiwi, what you can be looking for here. Too messy my table. What you can be looking for on a Kiwi dollar here is a position like that 5920. Right, needs to close. 5-minute needs to close. Check the 15. So we have this point here. That's why I want 5920, because we have this point here that needs to clear. Okay, so that's what we're looking at here. And if you can clear that 5920 level, then I'll be looking to sell down something like 20 to 40 to the downside towards that low. Right? And then in the middle, you can look to close out. Every time I talk about it, it starts bouncing back up. But that's what I'll be looking out for on the Kiwi dollar. Aussie dollar, same thing. Not too concerned about that. I anticipate that, actually no, tell you what, don't, just be really careful. You can take that as a bit of a trade, but there is a little bit of a risk because we might see a big rebound. We might see a big rebound here, maybe not so much on the Kiwi. We might see a big rebound here on the Aussie. So it's not weakness, we're looking at dollar strength. We could be looking, right now, the general feel, the general idea is that, okay, I'm looking to buy or to sell into that dollar strength. I'm trading to that dollar strength. It's only looking for that position to start entering the trade, right? So yen, what I want is for it to break above 149. 2 minutes to close. I think it's going to come back in a bit. Because in 10 minutes, it's way outside of Bollinger. It's going to come back in a bit. So it's going to sit there. Pound, euro. I like the euro to the downside. Break. So it's all at that support level, guys. Just be a little bit patient. Wait for it to break. I see this as a bit of a bounce coming up. So yeah, that's the euro dollar. That's the euro dollar right at that support level of 1.0490. Break, sell. Yep. If that level breaks, I would sell that. I'm actually more keen on this. I'm actually very keen on the US yen. Oops. US yen to the upside. I just want to see a bit of a retrace. I just want to see the yen retrace a little bit before pushing back up. It's done that a little bit, but a stronger retrace before pushing back up would be great. Here you go, new candle, 10 minutes to the hour close. Kiwi dollar is holding at that level, so it hasn't broken that point yet. Same with the Aussie, hasn't broken that low there. Hopefully Singapore yen is moving up and I'm not trading. I know you're going on a holiday. I know it's a holiday you're planning for. That one. Okay, I'm actually really tempted to get into, I'm going to get into the yen. Okay, I'm in the yen. I'm in the yen at that point. 140. I'm in the yen at that point. Where is it? No, it's going back down. Shit. I'm in the yen at that point there. And I have my take profit right there, just at 150. And I have a tight stop at 420 there. Okay, so that's what I'm trying on the yen right now. 20 to about 25, about 25 pips to 55 pips. Okay, so we let that run. See, pound dollar is pushing to the downside. Euro dollar is breaking the support. Guys, there's just so many right now that you could get into. Please don't get into everything because you're going to be over leveraged, over trading. Focus on one or two pairs. Right, the yen is sitting there. That was the retrace I wanted to see, but I got in right before that. And once I got in, it's retraced back. Now it's just sitting there. I want to see it push back up again. Got on my CAD yen 23. Good job. Nice one, Sirin. Focus on selling Kiwi dollar. Yes, Kiwi dollar is doing very nicely. I would actually, however, be a bit more tempted to wait for the hour. I think it's pushing down strongly, but it needs to break past this point. It needs to get to that level before I would sell it down. Aussie dollar as well is doing well. I like the Kiwi a bit more than the Aussie. My yen is sitting right there. I'm just feeling like maybe I rushed in a bit too quickly, but I feel that it's going to continue going up. Pound dollar is doing well. So keen on entering EU sell if H1 closed nicely. Yes. EU and pound dollar and euro dollar both look. Pound dollar might be a bit tricky because it's right at that 61.8 right now. It could end the hour right there and bounce back up. So I'll be a bit careful of that. Euro dollar looks a lot better, reversing from that 61.8 back down. Break below that support, you could sell it down even for the short term, right? Even for a 20 pip to 30 pip kind of move could be good as well. My yen is a bit early. If it goes past those points, I might consider closing it out. But I'm okay to take a 25 pip loss on that. It just pretty much wipe out that previous entry that I got into. He got in the yen too. I think I rushed into that a little bit. I was just too because I wanted to get into that and start talking about other things. We'll see how that goes. 5 minutes. 15 could form a pin bar down. Oh, Robbie got into the yen too. Was that because of what I said or because you did your own analysis, Robbie? Dollar broke through. We're going to see. We're most likely going to see another leg higher on the dollar tonight. We're most likely going to see that push up. Good job, Robbie. And then if that goes up, you can see that's. What am I doing? Not doing too much. US30 pushing strongly down because of the dollar to the upside. 500 pushing down as well. All right. So that indexes are still heading down. Got in between my 2 yen trades. Nice. So 4 minutes to the hour close, you're seeing things retrace back now because it's retracing back to the H1 Bollinger Band. Pound dollar and euro dollar for retracement. Yep, it's retracing. Everything is retracing. Once that closes, I might close out of that a little bit if it comes up to my break even. Oh, okay. Ahmed says pound dollar and euro dollar for a retracement. I guess you mean a retracement as in a complete pushback, while Aussie and the Kiwi for continuation to the downside. Yeah, I don't like how the pound was reacting to that 61.8 level. I feel that it might do what it did here on Thursday, right? Push back up again. So I want to see it needs to break. I would not sell the pound dollar unless it breaks below this point, below 61.8 and at that 1.21 level. Euro dollar as well needs to break that support. That's why you have your support levels there. My yen is not doing very well. Aussie dollar needs to close below this point. Oops, I got to US yen just because he said got into. Fell. Disclaimer. Yeah, I do think it's gonna go up. I just think it's gonna retrace a bit first. Disappointing that the CAD did not play out, sitting right there. So I think that one's out of the picture. I think it's going to maintain in this range, 1.37 and 1.38. It's going to stay in this range. I don't think we're going to see that breakout to the downside. Having fun learning. Yeah, it's awesome. Retracing. Sitting right there. Biden speaking. What's he talking about? What is he talking about? Hold a press conference about the September jobs report. Why is he talking about that? That's a bit unusual. Not a usual thing. So it might usually he would try and strengthen the dollar. Doesn't mean hold on to any trades. Does not mean hold on to the trades. But usually he strengthens the dollar a bit. Thanks for reminding me about that. I'm still watching my yen. Kiwi bouncing back up. Aussie yen pushing back up a little bit. Pound dollar. Nope. Euro looks like it's going to push right back up. Swiss franc has just gone completely against what I thought because of the dollar strength. That's fine. That one's just sitting there. CAD is just sitting there. Okay, so I'm back to this. And I just want to see it go up a little bit. I want Vel to close out the trade in a profit. Let's check out gold. Yep, gold looks like it's gonna come down but I'm only going to get in below 1800. Euro yen pushed up, back down again. Right, pushed up because of the yen, back down because of the euro dollar. CAD yen went up. It's at the level there, that previous swing level 38.2 there. So something needs to happen before I would trade it up. US yen is at almost at break even again. Hope it goes all the way to 150, but it's kind of slowed down. I prefer, I love a big spike like that, but I wouldn't actually mind a steady climb towards 150. Right, I wouldn't mind a steady climb. That's a good 55 pips to the upside. So just slowly climb it up, and I'm happy. 55p, 15p. All right, that's pushing up. That's fine. Okay. Anyone else got into a trade? Yen's not going to do well. I think it's going to retrace. Because this is going to come back down a little bit before maybe pushing back up. So yen's going to retrace a bit. That's okay, because I got that move up. Now come back down before push up again. Anything else? Anyone? Okay, nothing much else happening. It's retracing. We'll see that retrace. Let me know, how do you find this session so far? So you can close Kiwi at 6 loss. Thank you, Jordan. Yeah, Kiwi is just it wasn't ready. You needed to wait for it to break past this level to sell down. It's not ready. Great session, 100%. Thanks, Robbie. How about everyone else? How do you find this session? Hey, yeah, see? Serene clicked the like button and she made money. So clicking the like button works. It gets me a like and it gets you a winning trade. Thanks, Val. Jordan, yes, we can. Have you joined the Discord channel already, Jordan? If you haven't, do join the Discord channel. We can do more live sessions. Do help me out. If you haven't, or if you're, whoever you're trading with, do sign up with the equity, and we can get an account going. We can get everything going from there. Great session. Thanks. You're most welcome there, Jason. Thank you, Ahmed. Okay, so I think what I'll do is I'll let that run. If it comes back past this point, I might close it out, but I'll let that run. And then we'll call it the end of the day. Late in the night for me, bright and early for Jordan and Pedro, and pretty much midday for everyone else. So with that, hey guys, please trade well, trade safe. I hope you have a great weekend ahead. I'll see you all on Discord channel. Let me know how you went with the other trades for the rest of the trading session. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you all on Monday. Oh, okay. Hey, Jordan. Thank you all so much. You've been awesome. You've been great. I'll see you on Discord, and if not, then on Monday. Take care now. Bye bye.